Hello students, we are at the last valuable few minutes of today's class. Okay, I will recall the today's topic one by one. Listen carefully. Okay, our first topic is comparison of EMFs of two cells using potentiometer. Here we are using the potentiometer comparing the two cells EMF. Okay, which cell having more EMF. Okay, we are comparing the EMFs. Here we are using the potentiometer. We know very well the principle of potentiometer. EMF is directly proportional to balancing length. If EMF is more, we get more balancing length. Okay, here in potentiometer you have to notice when the jack is moved on a potentiometer wire at a particular point, the column shows zero deflection. When the column shows zero deflection means the potential drop across Cj is equal to EMF of the cell. Okay, here first of all I included the cell I1. At that case I move the jockey on the potentiometer wire at the point J at a length L1. The length is balanced, then the potential drop across Cj is equal to EMF of the cell Psi1. Okay, then we can write Psi1 is equal to IR L1. Then next case 2, including the cell of EMF Psi2, then we get Psi2 is IR L2. Dividing this equation we get Psi1 by Psi2 is equal to L1 by L2. That we get finally Psi1 is equal to Psi2 L1 by L2. Okay, then our next topic is internal resistance of the cell using potentiometer. Here also that same concept. Here in earlier class we already learned the internal resistance of the cell using voltmeter. Here we are using potentiometer. We are finding the internal resistance. Okay, same setup of the potentiometer, but one difference is here across the cell of EMF psi and internal resistance R, we are including the external resistance. Okay, here the small r indicate the internal resistance. That is the value we have to calculate. Okay, working. First of all, the key K2 is open. At that moment we are moving the jockey on the potentiometer wire. At J the column shows zero deflection. Here L1 is a balancing length. Then the potential drop across Cj is equal to EMF of this cell. Okay, after the key is closed, the current I passing through the circuit having the resistor R and small r. Okay, we know very well for current I is equal to V by R. Here V is a EMF psi by R plus R because the resistors are contained series. Then potential difference across R can be written as IR. Then I can be written as psi by R plus R into R. Then the potential difference across R is equal to the potential drop across L2. At that case we move the jockey on the CD at the point J dash, the column shows zero deflection. That means the potential drop across Cj dash is equal to potential drop across the resistor R. Okay, then we get this expression. Okay, after knowing this we are equating this one as equation 1, this one as equation 1 divided by equation 2. Okay, see, then finally we get an expression R is equal to L1 minus L2 by L2 into R. If suppose we know the value of L1, L2 and R, we will determine the value of internal resistance. If the resistance value increases, the external resistance, internal resistance also increases. Okay, R is not constant. Okay, then heating effect of electric current. Whenever an electric current passes through a conductor, it produces heating effect as well as it produces magnetic effect. Here we will see the heating effect. We know very well a current flow through a resistor, some of its electric energy is delivered to the resistor, it is converted into heat energy. That heat is dissipated, that means wasted in the form of heat. Okay, then here we know we are applying current and we get a thermal energy. We also get EMF from thermal energy. This effect is known as thermoelectric effect. Okay, then we see the Joule's law. Here I consider a conductor maintaining at a potential difference Phi. I is a current flowing through a conductor. Then the work done is spent. Then the work done can be written as power into time. Then work done is equal to VIT. Okay. then this work done or this potential energy is in the form of heat, then H is equal to VIT. By applying Ohm's law, we get an expression H is equal to I square RT. Okay, this is also a Ohm's law. Okay, here in this case, the heat developed in a resistor when there is a current flow that is directly proportional to square of the current, then heat directly proportional to resistance of the conductor, heat directly proportional to time of flow of current. Okay, then thermoelectric effect. Here the conversion of temperature difference into electrical voltage and electrical voltage into temperature difference. Okay, this is known as thermoelectric effect. Okay, here we will see three more phenomena. First one is Seebeck effect. Here the temperature difference is converted into electrical voltage. In Peltier effect, the current flowing through a thermocouple that develop temperature difference. In Thomson effect, the temperature difference create potential difference. Okay, then we see our first effect, that is Seebeck effect. Here we are considered a thermocouple. Thermocouple is a device consisting of two dissimilar metal maintained at a two different junction. One is cold junction, one is hot junction. Here nearby at the cold junction, that means at the point A, the current flows from iron to copper. At a hot junction, current flows from copper to iron. Okay, then this temperature difference create EMF. Okay, due to that EMF, the galvanometer shows a deflection. Okay, here this can be stated as in a closed circuit consisting of two dissimilar metal, the junctions are maintained at different temperature, EMF is produced. The current flow due to the EMF developed is called thermoelectric current. Okay, then next, the EMF developed in the circuit depends on nature of the metal used in a thermocouple. Okay, and the temperature difference between the junction. Then we see the applications of Seebeck effect. Okay, our first application is thermoelectric generator that are used in power plants for the purpose of converting waste heat into electricity. Then next, in automobiles to increase the fuel efficiency. Okay, then next they are used in thermocouple and thermopile to measure the temperature difference between the two objects. Okay, one more thing we missed, that is application of Joule's law. Okay, here first of all, the first application of Joule's law of heating is electric heater. These are the appliances that are represented as electric heater. In these appliances there is a heating element. That heating element is nothing but a nichrome. Okay, that nichrome is alloy of nickel and chromium. We know the characteristics of nichrome is a high specific resistance and a high melting point. Due to these characteristics, it can withstand at a heavy temperature. Okay, the next, electric fuse. It is a simple device that are connected with the appliances in series. Okay, this device can protect the appliances from excessive current. Okay, it is made up of low melting point material and a high specific resistance. This is a characteristics of fuse wire. Okay, these are the fuse wires we can use. Okay, the next, electric furnace. Electric furnace is a device used for manufacturing important materials such as steel, silicon, carbide, then quartz, gallium and arsenide. Okay, here in this furnace, the heating element is molybdenum nichrome that is wound on a silica tube. This electric furnace that can produce temperature of 1500 degrees Celsius. If we need more than 1500, then we can use carbon arc. This produce 3000 degrees Celsius. Then our next application is electric lamp. Electric lamp consists of a tungsten filament having the melting point of 3380 degrees Celsius. The current passing through a tungsten filament, it produces heat first. After that, it produces light, that is known as incandescent. Here, every lamp, every electric lamp that consume 5% of energy to produce light, and the remaining 95% is wasted as heat. Okay, only two more topics are there, that are Peltier effect and the Thomson effect. We will see in tomorrow's class. Okay, note down the tomorrow's assignment. See assignment number 6, day 6 assignment. Here I gave 5 2 marks, that means very short answer. then 2 long answers. Okay, everyone must read and write in your assignment note whatever you followed in previous days. Okay, you must read and write and then submit it by taking a snap and forward it to the mail ID given below. Okay, thank you.